Hello everyone. How are you? Hope you all are doing well and hope you all are okay. My grandmother always have this quote, that she have on a plaque that she put up in the house. The clock of life is wound up once, and no one has the power to tell just when the hands will stop at late or early hour. Now, that simple means that we get this life and we have to live it to the best of our ability. You understand? We have to try to be the best versions of ourselves. Because let me tell you something, you don't know if your life going end morning, noon, or night. You understand? You don't have the power to tell when life will stop. Simple means life is a gift. Live it well. And if you can make a difference in someone else's life, do it. Because you see, when you're gone, the only thing that is going to be remembered about you is the kind of person you were and how you lived your life. Now, this upload that I'm about to do have me away all week because I'm stressed, I'm confused, and I'm hurt. Because you know why? I'm hurting for our children. Because you know what? We children are not getting the nurturing that they should get. And because of that, they are letting it unleash on society. We need to remember that children's brain mull over things quite differently from an adult brain. Now, there seems to be a ritual going on with the children of Jamaica, and this power still remains in the hands of the parents and guardian, and we really need to take responsibility for that. Firstly, my heart goes out to the mother of Irwin High School student taken out by another student. He was only 15 years old. Daniel Plummer. He was attacked by a group of students after school, and one of those same students, 14 years old, took a knife to his chest. He was rushed to Cornwall Regional Hospital but was pronounced. Now the little 14-year-old criminal was arrested and an investigation was done. He was taken before the courts. For whatever reason, it was found there was insufficient evidence and he was set free. As a parent and a human being, it is painful to lose your child, but it is even worse when you get no justice through the justice system. And worst of all, he was her only child. Now a mother have to bury her child. It goes against the nature of how things was meant to be. The order of life was never for parents to be burying their children. And that seems to be the norm right now. How empty and helpless this mother must feel. While that verdict is coming in, a 7-year-old boy brings a machine gun to school. Can I tell you? Can you imagine how fatal that could have been? Because that gives rapid firing and many lives could have been lost. Now, the head of the police division in St. Elizabeth, Superintendent of Police Coleridge Minter, confirmed the incident. Now, the child came to school with his own school knapsack that should have been books, but instead it had in a machine gun. Now tell me, what kind of 7-year-old could have access to a machine gun to bring to school just casually, just like that? What kind of home could he be coming from? What kind of people is this child around? His home life environment need to be checked out. Remember, him don't live in Russia, or Iraq, where there's constantly warfare going on, Well, then again, we don't even understand to the level of what kind of war is going on in Jamaica in certain areas. This simply means the child lives in a very toxic environment. Now, before the quick thinking teacher at the school be hailed for being a hero, the said teacher have to resign from the school and leave the school, all in order to preserve their life, as now the school is under threats, as the criminals want back the gun, which obviously has now been seized by the police. Now tell me, any well-thinking person, think about it. What was the teacher to do? The shock alone of knowing and seeing that this 7-year-old child bring a machine gun to school. What you guys think the teacher was going to do with the gun? Put it back in his bag and tell him to carry it home? However, the 7-year-old was taken into the care of the Child Protective and Family Service Agency. Now the staff of the St. Elizabeth School are in fear and are resigning because of fear of losing their lives over this situation, as the criminals, who I guess are the owners for the gun, are demanding back the gun. So why them not go down to the police station to ask for it? Why the school? The school is just the middleman, you know. The school had no power over the situation, because once the police come in, the police was going to take over. This just shows the level of people that are living in some of these communities and their criminal mindset. Because let's be real, after the to school, what was the school to do? The school couldn't go out in the community and ask, whose machine gun is this? There's a little machine guns to school, which is already illegal. Whose one is this? Show yourself and come for it. Remember, it is an illegal possession by whoever owned it. So obviously, in calling the police to highlight the situation, the police would have taken. So now, the school that didn't do anything wrong is the one that must be running up and down. The teachers are afraid for their lives because of criminals. Then we're not going to breed more dunce people though, who are going to turn criminal. Because if the teachers them not going to be able to teach your children to have a brain so they don't come up needing to have to anger. What will happen now when they have to run and leave the school because they fear that anything can happen at any time? Because we don't know, say, these nowadays criminals are not well thinking. I'm telling you, there never seems to be a dull day in Jamaica. We're just going from bad to worse. Now while all this is going on, a group of bullies from a school attack a younger schoolboy over in Portland. Now the police have charged a 12-year-old bully who was seen physically assaulting another student on the school compound in a viral video. It was a merciless attack and a video very painful to watch. The 12-year-old youth was charged with occasioning bodily harm while an investigation is being done, and the incident will be taken up with the Children Family Court when the date is finalized. What me want to know is, what kind of parents these children have? Oh, them a youth say I go to school so hungry. Oh, them a go to school so evil. Huh? Now, same time this is going on, I'm going through social media, and there it is again. I see two students running breathlessly. The one in front running like her life depended on it, only to see the one behind so determined to catch her and fight her, so much so that she stopped in the middle of the street. And I tell you, will you believe it? this little girl start to undress and step out of her uniform. Yes, the little girl strip off her clothes, only wearing her tights and her underwear, and barefooted, and started running again to catch up with the little girl that was running ahead of her, running from her. By the time she catch up with the young girl, she was taking refuge in a shop where some older folks were. And even though you could see the fear in the child's eyes, she was hiding behind an adult. Yet the young criminal, who's so determined to fight, is still trying to grab her from behind the adult. Even though the adult was trying to hold her off while trying to talk some sense into her, yet she determined she have to get to her. Almighty God.
Grab boy! Oh God, I said big jam did do. Let me know about the cameraman in the dag. You want me now? You want me? You are catching boy. That's right there. Flood me. Young boy. Don't fight. Jesus Christ. No, we have cutlass. No. What kind of fighting?
Something is wrong. I don't know if it's them eating too much fast food or what is happening. I don't know if some alien invasion come down and possess them children here, but it's just too much. I can't understand what is happening to the children of Jamaica. What environment are they being brought up into? Bear in mind, children started off as seed. Once they are nurtured and loved, groomed, they are supposed to be then shaped like clays by tender hands, then molded into perfection. How they should grow. Then that's what we will get out there in society. Otherwise, anything else is a failure. Wild bush let loose on society. The fact is, children take time to care for, and as parents and guardians, anyhow our children turn out is our fault. No child not born to be a wayward child. They are products of their environment. They adopt certain attitudes and traits because they see it as okay. You have some kind of parents that they rule with an iron fist that don't make you good parents, because letting your children fear you and afraid to talk to you about anything, that don't work either, because that borders on cruelty. That's where the child is not allowed to have an opinion on anything. They don't try to listen or explain things to the child. They just radam these children, and they still don't know where they went wrong. You can't bring up children like that. They have to be able to can speak, explain themselves, and understand what they did wrong to get the punishment that they get. You have another set of parents who say they are Christians, sing about the Bible and God teaching every day, day in, day out, yet your kids noticing your lifestyle. It is not godly behind closed doors. You chat and badmine your neighbors, and you're judgmental to everyone. Right there, so you know what you're doing? You're teaching your children to be sneaking and how to be a hypocrite and how to be haters. You have some parents, Them just boof the children for every little thing. Them just want a chance just to boof them and don't even give them a chance to express or profess their innocence in any situation. You know what happened there, sir? They are growing and they are learning and molded now to know that whether them do the right thing or they do the wrong thing, them still not gonna get no right. So there is no justice for them. So them not really care. So you build some donkey pitney right there, so. Right there, them not care anymore. And of course, generally those kind of children, their parents or guardian is living a toxic life. The children emulate it and act accordingly because they think it's okay. And they believe their parents will understand and make excuses for anything they do. These children nowadays, their brain develop fast, and you can't be a parent that is telling your child to do as I say and not as I do. They're not having that. They are learning off what they see you do and how you act, and they pick up energies. I know the birth rate is down in Jamaica, but Lord only knows most of you parents should go to parenting school before even getting pregnant or even getting children. A lot of you need to control yourself, especially some of you men. No, not every woman you sleep with should become your baby mother. Because truth be told, many women should not be mothers. Because motherhood is not a style and how to keep yourself attached to a man. It is much deeper than that. It is natural. It is just having the natural maternal instinct and know how to love something you create much more than you even love yourself. And ladies, it's not every man you sleep with you should get pregnant for. Some men can only love themselves. Their life is about their image. They can't love a child as they only love themselves. But if you lot would only take the time beyond the sex and who throat good and who proving and finding out who for something tight and who for thing a 5 inch or 10 inches, and spend more time communicating with a prospective partner, you would understand where to go from there more than just drop a child into the mix and you both don't have an understanding of what you really want. Because truth be told, if genuine love is in it, size does not matter. Just being in each other's presence, the intimacy quadruples everything. Because a lot of you who say love don't even really know what love is and don't even know how to nurture a child with genuine love to ensure they grow in a healthy environment. And it don't matter if it's in the ghetto or rural Jamaica or rich uptown society you come from. You have to balance the scale when dealing with children. Nurture them to be able to express their feelings, whether boy or girl. Allow them to have an opinion. Your duty is to guide their thoughts in a balanced way. When they're wrong, explain to them why they're wrong so they know. Switch roles with them to let them see and understand where you're coming from on a topic. Let them be able to can talk to you about anything, because remember, the person they will talk to may not give them good advice. When you're chatting your neighbors and family members and tearing down people and talking people business overall, stop doing it in front of your children, because you are indirectly teaching them hate and bad mind without even knowing it. Because bear in mind, if the person you talking about is someone they look to and see that it's someone that they like, and they don't see why you should be hating on this person, or they don't understand, you know what, they start to think, I can hate people for no real good reason. So instead, they will now start to seek reasons to hate their peers. Like, for example, the shoes they wear, the clothes they wear, their belt, their bag, because they always have the latest, because they eat big lunch and they don't. It just increase to petty things as they go along. If you're not my friend, Mena like you. Just remember, children brain generate different from our own that is already mature, and while doing so, they are molding the way they think, the way they feel, and the way they see things, and they quickly pick up energies around them. So as parents, it's your duty to watch what you do and say and how you act around your children, because trust and believe, they are emulating it. So when they go out in society and do crap, you are equally to be blamed. There's no getting away from that. Now, my own feeling on the abuse and assault of children at school by their own peers. These are children that should have gone to school as students to learn firstly. No, the mother that lose her child to another child and got no justice in the courts, firstly, me don't know there's no real justice in Jamaica. And there, so, the thing is, so me don't know, for me, it's an eye for an eye. My child can't gone and you still have a future. We not ask Christ. So nobody wouldn't get no story off me on social media. I would have nothing to say, because me don't know say a straight eye for an eye my thing there. For this evil bully, I seen beating the other smaller youth mercilessly at school. Me I find you and put you in our wheelchair. Me not ask Christ, since you act like adult, me I deal with you like adult. Worse when me hear your own mother come out and say you have anger issues. No, lady, if you know your child have anger issues, why you send out your child to go join the school population? We already have enough issues already. For God, if you go damage people children, you school your child at home. Nobody not responsible for your bad begotten, ill begotten child. You keep your pitney at your yard if you know him is going to be a pestilence to society. Your thing is that he had an anger issue because he experienced where youths run him down with machete already. Then what kind of friendship him have when people run him down with machete? Well, obviously, nothing happened to him as he is still here, and there is no report at police station or medical report that any damage was done to him. You understand? So much so that you found out this after this whole incident happened, after he was seen battering this poor little child. That is when you're now hearing that he has gone through a situation like that and he have anger issues from that. Lady, this youth was one of the persons that did run him down with the machete at the time. So with you saying that, obviously he never come home with you battered and bruised or injured. So you should never have mentioned this situation in what has happened now and talking about anger issues. This is the problem. You are making excuse for your criminal son, because that experience doesn't matter now. Just shows that as a mother of this youth, you're an enabler for your son's wrongs and is seeking to justify him battering the people them pitney. This is the problem as a parent, when you're an enabler to find excuse for wrongs when your children do it. they're not going to have a problem doing it over and over again. Remember me, I tell you straight, if I'm my child, you come scrape him up in a wheelchair. Me not ask Christ about that. Because me doing that would probably save him life from later on messing with the wrong person and losing his life. And also may save many other children from his merciless hands, as that child don't come from no healthy home. And another thing, it's time women stop using being single parent as excuse to be crappy parents. That's not an excuse. You're either crappy parents or not. Bear in mind, you would be a crappy parent because you're doing some things wrong and have wrong priorities. That's why you end up putting out these kind of children out there in society. Then this schoolgirl seen stripping out of her uniform, determined to run down another student to beat her up. If I was her parent, I would send her to the state reform school because she needs some strong-handed discipline to keep her within the fold. Then again, if she come from a warboat home, I guess that is looked on as being okay. I'm telling you, these children are coming from some toxic homes, you know, man. But for me, if she hit my child, I'm stepping to her like an adult and I'm giving it to her like an adult would. And parents, you know the kind of children you have. Be responsible and homeschool them. Keep them out in the yard. Don't send them out there to go mash up other people's children's lives. No parents now have to go to work. It's hard enough to deal with living in Jamaica society. The bills and everything else you have to deal with and so on. No, when we go to work, parents have to be fretting and wondering if they're going to get no phone call to go pick up them pitney at hospital or pick them up worse, the morgue. And that is a whole another level of unnecessary stress that could have been avoided if people keep home them bad begotten children or disciplining them appropriately to put out decent children out there in society. You know what? I thank God every day that my children are not in school at this time. They're grown, because school these days are not what they used to be. Not saying things never used to happen, you know, but not at this magnitude. If we were to get video and everything happening every day at school, I'm telling you, there would be no space on social media to hold everything. I am mother of boys and girls, and I'm telling you, it's when they come on, it's my children, me only have to look at them, you know, and them understand what it is, you know, cause me don't tell my pitney them how me grow them. No pitney nah make me shame a road, and no pitney nah make me get no bad name a road. You hear me tell you? Me tell them say it's the same way how me bring them come, as same so me can take them back. No pitney nah make me feel shame, and them now go out, them gonna be no distress for society, and them now go out, they gonna make no parent have to cry for them pitney. I remember my last one in high school. You get a little taste of things to come, but boy, we never expected things was to get so rapid in society with the crime and violence amongst children. But it was a situation, we nipped it in the bud. Because I remember in high school, his first week, he went to the bathroom, and as he was leaving, a group of boys came in, slammed the door shut and asked his name and said, them run the grounds, and every week he must bring certain amount of his lunch money to them. When he told us, his father thought it was an innocent prank, children play on each other, and never took it serious. He just played it down as, you know, boys will be boys. Anyway, few months later, he complained these guys are hitting him after school and searching his pocket and taking away any money that he has. So his father drove up to the school one evening when school let him know. We never told our son that his father was coming at the school, because his father wanted to catch things naturally for himself to see exactly what is going on. So he parked in the school compound behind where the bus stop is, where all the children would go to the front and take the bus, where he can have a full view of what happened at the bus stop, only to see our son walk up. In a few minutes, about 6 boys from the same school walk up and start searching 2 other kids there and taking what they want from them. Then went over to our son and asked how he never have anything for them. Drape him up, yes, like a them and parents. Long time. Because it looked like, say, a for them child. All about to start hitting him when his father quickly jumped out of his van and run around to the bus stop, push over 3 of the boys onto the ground and draw his gun and held onto the gang leader, while the others sitting down on the ground at the bus stop and say, you see how my son favor me? You see, when you see him, best believe and me a look on. And right beside the gang leader head and ask them all for their address, which is not like he wrote down their addresses, and tell them, he say, anytime you see him, walk far, because he will go to prison for his son. And if him get caught, because he knew where they all live, then after speaking with them, he tell them to go home, as he will be there from time to time, watching out for them and seeing what they're up to. They fled like thief. After they left, all the children at the bus stop started to tell my husband all the things that these boys do to them, and how they took them things and who get beat up. Anyway, he asks, what happened to the teachers? Why they don't say anything to the teachers? They say sometimes they get suspended, but when they come back to school, they come back to school and doing the same thing. Now, when my husband reached home and tell him what he did, I was shocked. I did not approve of it, but I was shocked. And trust me, if it was to the day, I would so much welcome what he did. But I'm still glad for what he did then. But truth be told, my son went through high school with never having a bad day after that. And I thank God every day how I escape what is going on in school these days. As you really and truly, as parents and guardians, have to pray when your child leave for school, and thank God when they come home back to you in one piece. And it must be heart-rending that this is something that you have to be doing every day, that your child leave your home. You have to be hoping and praying that they will come back home with the worst, a buck toe, or them fall down and bounce them forehead or something. Because the news that parents are getting when their children leave and go to school are not normal. Because it's not nice for a parent to get a call, say another child damage your child and the child at hospital, or another child damage your child and you have to go with a call it now. You have to go identify the body at a morgue. It's not a good look. Another thing, parents or guardian, get involved in parents teachers association. Be vigilant at your child's school your children go to, so you can interact and know other parents and what is happening at the school. I was involved in as much as I could, so I was known by many students, parents and teachers. It makes a difference. Children can't let go to grow wild like wild bush, because they will act wild. That's why so much of them is going to school with so much anger, because they're feeling like they are carrying the world on their head and they have to be fighting for everything. Parents' duty is to not let children be thinking that way. Parents are the one that should be fighting for them and fighting for everything for them. They should not believe that they have to be doing that for themselves. I thank God every day that my children were able to grow up as children, not worrying about where the next meal coming from or what going to happen next. As the Lord knows, it was never easy. Even if I can't eat lunch, I work a daytime, them eat lunch, and they would never know I don't eat lunch. They get what is needed for them to be comfortable, even if I don't or I have to do without. And they would never know what is going on with me. You as parent can't give children too much things to be thinking about. Let them get a chance to grow as children. Stop drawing children into adults' affairs and traumatizing them. All it does is distract them from growing healthy with a healthy mind and to be a balanced human being in society. Because what we're seeing now is emotionally damaged, angry youths being put out in society to create anarchy. Another thing, if you don't love children and emotionally ready for them, don't have them. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.